All right, so one thing I definitely want to address on my walk this morning is my battle and my struggle with something called trichotillomania. If you never heard of that or don't know what that is, trichotillomania is obsessive compulsive hair pulling. So a lot of people with trichotillomania, they pull strands of their hair out when they're stressed or anxious, and it gives them a sense of relief. And I want to say that I feel like my trichotillomania has almost protected me throughout difficult times in life. Like when I needed something, when I needed some type of relief, I pulled my hair. And as like a teen and a young adult, I went through so much and so many changes that were a lot of my peers never had to deal with. Like at the age of 14, I had to deal with death in my family. And then at the age of 12, my mother was diagnosed with schizophrenia. So around 11 is when I started my hair pulling. All my hair had fallen out from a bad perm. I got a bad relaxer, and I lost a good chunk of my hair during that process of getting that relaxer. And I was ashamed and embarrassed and sad. And then one day I woke up, or actually my grandmother would always say, you know, your hair's so uneven, you just need to chop it all off and start over. And I was really like obsessed with my hair as a kid, right? So I'm like, okay, you know, starting over, if I need to chop off and start over, then that's what to get evenness, then okay, that's what I'll do. So I just woke up one day, about 11 years old, chopped it off. And my mom is kind of like, what did you do? And I'm like, I don't know what I did. And it was the summer that I was going to the 6th grade. And as you know, when you get to the 6th grade is like hard, right? It's challenging to be a 6th grader. So I'm going into 6th grade, and I just chopped all of my hair off from this, basically as an aftermath of this bad relaxer that I got. Chopped it all off so it could get back. And then now we're coming up on, it's time to go back to school. So it's time to go back to school, and I barely have any hair. At that time, we didn't have the evolution that we have now with hair extensions. So, we did something that basically concealed that I had chopped all my hair off. We like did some braids in the middle and laid it over the sides, and I wore a ponytail to school. But I was like known for having like pretty thick long hair and always having like a beautiful hairstyle. So now I go from being known for that to being in middle school and everybody. And I think I was around someone one day and I had a scarf on my head. I didn't mean to throw my thing in their trash can. Sorry, people. But anyways, needless to say, I was around someone and I was wearing a scarf to conceal my bald head, and the person ripped my scarf off and took off running. And so somebody at my school for the upcoming year was around and saw that I didn't have any hair. So they went and spread to everybody like, oh my gosh, she's bald-headed. So by the time school starts, I come with these braids and they're like, well, what happened? We thought you were bald-headed. And everybody's asking all these questions and blah, 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 making rumors, saying that I'm bald, whatever, asking me to lift my hair up. It was just like a lot about surrounding my hair. So then I just became really anxious for my hair growth. Like, I really desperately wanted my hair to come back. So I would pull a strand to see, and I would straighten it out, and I would see how long my hair had grew. I would pull it every couple days or every couple weeks just to measure. And then I would take the hair and I would rub across my face, rub across my lips, or whatever. And I'm figuring out that it was like something that was extremely soothing that I didn't even know was something that was extremely soothing. And it just kind of like spiraled from there. Like from there, it just became more and more and more. And now we're here almost, I want to say 20, no, it's been more than 20 years, 24 years later. And even the times when I stop, I start back up when I get stressed out. So if something extremely stressful happens, I'll start doing it again. Like, I remember there was a time where I stopped and I didn't know if I was going to get paid because it was like a freeze on pay. I didn't know if I was going to get paid. I didn't know where my next dollar was going to come from. So I started pulling. There was a time where I couldn't find my mom. If you didn't hear me earlier, my mom is schizophrenic. So there's a time I could not find my mom. I didn't know where she was. I was calling to like shelters and hospitals and just everywhere trying to figure out where she was. And I didn't know where she was. And I was worried. And I had not been pulling for months at that point. And boom, at the drop of a dime, that right there. Ooh, got something on my face. But yeah, that right there pushed me back into pulling. A breakup can push me into pulling. A loss in my family. So it was like after I started those little pulls, big life events continued to happen every couple years to where it was like a safety. It became like my safety net or my saving grace. But I'm definitely at a point in my life where I want to get over that, and I would love to let that go. So that's another journey that I'm wanting to take and wanting to start. I'm doing my 30-day challenge, so I can do those simultaneously. I could do my 30 days of walking along with 30 days, and we're just going to set it at 30 days and then push forward. 30 days of no hair pulling. So it's time for me to go to work. I had a good time on my morning walk and talk. And I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.